Well, the Allegheny Journal has found the mayor of Covington, Tom Sibold, on a nice crisp day here on Saturday. It is, and I'm sure he'd much rather be doing other things, but we're standing next to the Rayon Bridge, and almost everybody in the region knows what this is. Used to be the best way to get to Hercules, and it serves the Edgemont area in South Covington. Mr. Mayor, in the last year or so, the Rayon Bridge has been a topic of conversation of City Council, and then this past week we heard that replacing this structure would be $11.1 million. Did that surprise you?
It did. I wasn't aware that number was out there. But, once I talked to the city manager about it and she explained what was going on, it's a result of a formula that VDOT uses. And as we're applying for smart road money and smart bridge money to make repairs or replacement of this bridge, VDOT pretty much suggested we use that number in our request. I don't think it'll cost that much, but I hadn't built any bridges lately.
Well, with respect to cost, though, of course the city of Covington wouldn't have to spend anywhere near that. What is the share of Covington? 25% in whatever is decided will be the actual amount of money spent?
It's usually an 80-20 split on the smart roads money. So we would be responsible more than likely for 20% of the repairs.
Okay, well that's liable to be a good number. I guess if there are any changes in the estimates, Covington's been pretty successful in going back to VDOT and saying, and of all people, a former VDOT employee would know, you've been pretty successful with the smart roads money or smart.
They've treated us well. They really have, and we use everything we can to talk to them about it. Our engineering firm that we use a lot, CHA, Stevie Steele's their head engineer. He's got a good relationship with them. David Bryant, our finance department, does good with them, and now that Crystal's come on board, she has some people in Richmond she knows. So we're getting hold of the ear of the right people every once in a while.
In the grand scheme of things, how important is the Rayon Bridge to Covington?
Well, right behind you is one of our main industrial sites. There are several different businesses in there right now, but that would be the place we could actually do a 400 or 500 people industrial development.
Well, that would be a great prospect. I mean, we're seeing the state make announcements on a regular basis, but we're hearing about it in Martinsville and Eastern Virginia. And are you confident that the Economic Development Corporation has a good relationship with the state so that any of the possibilities that are coming forward, Covington might be a part of that?
I think right now our Economic Development Corporation is at a really good place and probably more productive than they've been for a long time. And it's no fault of anyone other than some people asking the right questions and doing the right thing. We're going to have to talk about recycling sooner or later.
And Mayor Sibold, we're here at the former Edgemont School, one of two recycling sites that the city of Covington has established in recent months. At last council meeting, you didn't throw your hands up, but Vice Mayor David Crozier said, where do we go from here? Each time one of these bins is emptied, it costs the city $545. The city's not really getting anything for this other than just being responsible. How is this sustainable?
It's not sustainable the way we're going, Jerry. I've been a recycler for years. My wife and I have fervently recycled. We believe in it, but the way recycling is going, we need some help from the state and the federal government to change some of the restrictions they're putting on things. We need to look at a different way to recycle. We need to learn how we can use plastics in different ways. Stuff like that just not selling anymore, so there's no profit in it, so it's dead money. Every time you pay it out, there's no return on it. Some of this ends up in the landfill. And it's a bad thing that I bring my recyclables over here and then some of them actually end up in the landfill because we're not able to process everything at a site like this. You'll see a dumpster over here behind me. And when these are full, anything that's left laying around goes in the dumpster, and that goes to the landfill. It doesn't go to recycling.
But it's several $1,000s a month if you include these as well as the ones at Casey Field. You're talking about several $1,000s a month net cost to the city. Is that correct?
If we empty all 4 bins once a week, it's a little better than $2,000 a week. And to do it properly, we would probably need to empty them all 3 times a week.
That's just 2 sites. The truth is, if you put 6 dumpsters here, do you believe they'd fill up?
Yes, they would. They would. And, you know, it's hard for... the county has several recycling locations. They have one at Boiling Spring School. They've got one at the transfer station at Callahan. But sometimes it's easy for somebody just to stop by here and put their recyclables in it. And that costs us. One of the things we really would encourage people to do is not bring trash. You know, this is not for trash. It's for recycling. Aluminums, metals, cardboard, paper, plastic. That's all they accept. Anything else you put in there is just an added cost that'll be disposed of in a dump, just like you put it in your regular trash.
Well, a couple members of City Council, I think you're one of them, as a result of some complaints of extra items being left off the side of the dumpsters, are now coming to the site. And we just happened to be here on Saturday, and the bins are full, but everything's nice and clean. So you guys are doing your job.
Well, I don't know if it's really my job to come up here and clean up around the recycling bins, but I usually stop by here once a day. I don't go to the one up at Casey Field. I think Alan Dressler and some of his people keep that pretty neat, and they come over here the same way and clean up around and empty the dumpsters a couple times a week. Make sure there's some place to put any trash that's left up here.
Well, what is the end game? At the last City Council meeting, and you were just joking around, but you were on a more serious end, you said that if you added $10 a month to utility bills to everybody, maybe that would pay for the cost of this. But you weren't really planning to do that. So what is the end game, or are you at least beginning to look at alternatives to have some kind of solution?
We're going to either have to come up with a revenue source to pay for our recycling program, or we probably going to eliminate our recycling. I'm not sure how much people want recycling when it starts hitting your billfold at a tune of $10 more a month, or a 10-cent tax increase on your real estate taxes, which would take to cover the recycling program.
That would make you a popular figure in the city of Covington.
Yeah, it's terrible, but we don't have a lot of solutions. There's not a solution right now to what we're doing.
At any rate, to end this segment, I believe that you did ask the city manager at a future meeting, maybe not the next one, but you do have budgetary things coming up, but at some future meeting within a month or so, to at least suggest some alternatives?
Yeah, and she's going to try to come up with some solutions. Lexington did away with recycling over a year ago. It just wasn't, they couldn't afford to do what they were doing. And that's where we're going. The market's down, there's nobody buying stuff. Like I said, you can sell some aluminum, you can sell some paper and cardboard, but nothing else is selling to make any money.
China just won't take our junk anymore.
China's economy is booming, and they don't have anybody willing to pick through plastic to sort it. So they're not taking plastic anymore.
Thanks very much.
All right.